Lusaka-based lawyer and Tonse Alliance National Youth Chairperson Celestine Mukandila has intensified his criticism of President Hakainde Hichilema, calling for his impeachment over alleged constitutional violations linked to the controversial Constitution Amendment Bill No. 7 of 2025. Mukandila's demand follows a landmark ruling by Zambia's Constitutional Court, which declared the bill unconstitutional due to procedural flaws and lack of public consultation. The court emphasized that the process failed to meet the standards of transparency, independence, and national consensus required for any constitutional reform. In a recent televised interview, Mukandila argued that the president's legal team had failed to provide sound and competent advice on a matter of national importance. He described the ruling as a damning indictment of the administration's approach to constitutional governance, asserting that the president had breached key provisions of the Zambian constitution by endorsing a flawed amendment process. According to Mukandila, the legal advisors surrounding President Hakainde Hichilema demonstrated negligence and poor judgment, which not only undermined the rule of law, but also exposed the presidency to serious legal and political consequences. The Constitutional Court's decision was prompted by a petition jointly filed by Mukandila and former Lumezi Member of Parliament Munir Zulu. The petitioners challenged the legality of Bill 7, arguing that the proposed amendments lacked legitimacy and failed to reflect the will of the Zambian people. The court concurred, ruling that the process was unconstitutional because it was not led by an independent body of experts and did not involve adequate public engagement. This ruling has sparked widespread debate across Zambia's political and legal circles, with many questioning the competence of the president's legal team and the broader implications for constitutional democracy in the country. Mukandila's call for impeachment is rooted in the belief that the president, as the custodian of the Constitution, bears ultimate responsibility for ensuring that all legal processes adhere to constitutional norms. He contends that by allowing Bill 7 to proceed under flawed conditions, President Hichilema violated his oath of office and compromised the integrity of the Zambian democratic institutions. Mukandila further warned that continued disregard for constitutional procedures could erode public trust and destabilize the country's governance framework. The lawyer's remarks have added fuel to an already heated political climate, with opposition figures and civil society organizations echoing concerns about the erosion of constitutional safeguards. Mukandila urged the president to immediately review the performance of his legal advisors and consider appointing independent experts to guide future constitutional reform. He stressed that any attempt to amend the Constitution must be consultative, inclusive, and grounded in legal rigor, warning against shortcuts that bypass the voices of ordinary Zambians. In addition to his impeachment call, Mukandila hinted at the possibility of initiating contempt proceedings against the Ministry of Justice if it continues to push for amendments to Bill 7 despite the court's ruling. He argued that defying the judgment would constitute a serious breach of judicial authority and could trigger further legal action. This stance reflects a broader concern among legal professionals about the executive's respect for judicial independence and the separation of powers. The controversy surrounding Bill 7 has reignited public discourse on the role of constitutional reform in Zambia's democratic evolution. Analysts note that while constitutional amendments are essential for adapting to changing political realities, they must be pursued through transparent and participatory mechanisms. The court's ruling serves as a reminder that constitutional legitimacy cannot be manufactured through executive fiat, but must emerge from a collective national process. Mukandila's intervention also highlights the growing assertiveness of legal voices in Zambia's political landscape. As a youth leader and aspiring member of parliament for Matero, his advocacy reflects a generational shift toward accountability and legal activism. His insistence on constitutional fidelity resonates with a public increasingly wary of political maneuvering and eager for institutional integrity. As the debate unfolds, the spotlight remains on President Hichilema's next steps. Will he heed the calls for reform within his legal advisory team, or will he double down on the current trajectory? The answer could shape Zambia's constitutional future and redefine the boundaries of executive power. For now, Mukandila's challenge stands as a bold assertion of legal principle in the face of political controversy, and its reverberations are likely to influence both the legal and political discourse in the months ahead.